Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is AES, and welcome to my YouTube channel. The Prince of Persia is one of Ubisoft's most well-known franchises, becoming an official player in the game with Prince of Persia for the Super Nintendo, and officially taking a hiatus in 2010 after the release of Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. It has gone through its shares of ups and downs, including a breakout example of time manipulation in the Sands of Time, and the comic-like reboot in 2008 that lacked any consequence of failure. The Prince has been away from the public eye for more than a decade, until Ubisoft decided to take a chance and bring him back through its old roots with the announcement of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. An experiment with the numerous themes of a Metroidvania game, the latest iteration of the franchise takes a risk, especially because it precedes the upcoming anticipated remake of the beloved Sands of Time. Thankfully, my first beaten game of 2024 does more good than harm for the franchise, and it gives me hope that Ubisoft will treat the aforementioned remake with the care that it deserves. A couple of things before we begin our review. On one hand, I'm including gameplay from the earlier parts of the game in order to avoid spoilers. On the other hand, the review is entirely subjective. If you have a different opinion on the game, please let me know in the comment section so we can talk about it. Without further ado, let's review Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which was released this year and, for the purpose of transparency, was played on the PlayStation 5. Story. One of the minor risks that Ubisoft takes with The Lost Crown is the fact that you actually do not play as the prince himself. Rather, you are placed in the shoes of Sargon, one of the several powerful warriors that are tasked with defending the prince and Persia as a whole. After a kidnapping plot takes place, you are asked to retrieve the kidnapped ally and discover the reason behind the dastardly deed. Sargon starts off as a cocky individual who solely fights for glory, but he experiences character development that transforms him into a humbler individual that you grow to like by the end of the title. Although you won't see them very often throughout the game, Sargon's fellow warriors are also individually displayed through unique characteristics and interesting designs. As a whole, the narrative of The Lost Crown is serviceable and implements a few highlights, as well as concludes in a way that makes me excited for a potential sequel. Visuals and audio design. Although it is a Ubisoft-owned title, Lost Crown's presentation reminds me of a top-tier indie game like Ori and the Blind Forest and Blasphemous. The environmental designs of the 8 or so biomes, and the portrayals of friends and numerous foes alike, have a cool art design. The animations of the attacks in particular can be breathtaking, especially when you perform a parry on an attack that is preceded by a yellow aura. In that situation, a short cutscene plays where either Sargon eliminates his enemy or deals a massive blow in the case of a boss fight. They were definitely one of the game's highlights. As far as the audio design is concerned, it was a real treat to see Ubisoft pay such attention to detail through Middle Eastern tunes and sound effects that made each blow feel powerful. Furthermore, the bombastic music that plays during the more intense sections of the game rivaled the memorable tunes of titles like Astral Chain and Devil May Cry. You may find a texture here or there that is out of place, but the variety within Lost Crown, both in terms of visuals and audio design, is very good. Gameplay. If you played a Metroidvania game in the past, you would feel right at home with The Lost Crown. If you have never played the title in the subgenre, let me give you the gist of it. As a 2D side-scrolling game, you will explore a massive map with multiple paths that could either lead you to the main objective, or an alternative path that ends with a boss fight, a hard-to-reach collectible, or a closed path that cannot be reached until you unlock a specific power-up. As you traverse the beautifully crafted biomes, your primary task is to defeat enemies. The system at your disposal here is impressive, since it enables you to perform combos through air juggles and a number of special abilities. When you defeat enemies, you receive a specific currency that will allow you to purchase consumable items or amulets that reward you with upgradable sub-abilities. The Lost Crown does a wonderful job with a continuous sense of reward. You are always encouraged to look into every nook and cranny that the title has to offer, and if you are able to find everything before encountering the final boss, you will feel like a complete badass as you end your initial journey with Sargon. Speaking of exploration, you will come across 8 side quests that will introduce you to interesting characters and give you a quest that differs from the other side quests. One of the quests towards the latter part of the game asked me to jump from platform to platform while collecting 3 objects in midair and not touching the ground at all. Another quest asked me to find 9 hidden treasures throughout the map and then discover a secret message that will allow you to unlock additional rewards. These side quests were awesome and a joy to complete, even though a couple of them tested my patience and platforming skill. Nevertheless, The Lost Crown is a treat for fans of Metroidvania and a wonderful entry for someone who is not familiar with the subgenre. Replayability. When it comes to reasons as to why you should replay Prince of Persia and The Lost Crown, I cannot name too many of them. Unless you have not fully explored the map on your first playthrough, there isn't much of an incentive to play through the story more than once. However, I would like to commend this game's customizable difficulty settings, which could create interesting challenge-based playthroughs in the future. You can change the enemy's damage output, your ability to parry incoming attacks, and other cool gameplay-based toggled options. I would absolutely recommend that you play through this game at least once, but I'm going to use a common phrase in the gaming community to describe this title. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is truly a one-and-done game. PlayStation Trophies. Once you get the hang of the parry system, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown becomes one of the easier Metroidvania titles to award a Platinum Trophy. There are no difficulty-related trophies, even though one of the side bosses can be particularly challenging. The majority of the trophies will ask you to explore a good chunk of the title's map and collect all the power-ups, super moves, and collectibles for the handful of side quests. The rest of the trophies will naturally come through story progression. The process of earning the Lost Crown's Platinum Trophy may be daunting at first due to the size of the map, but your biggest obstacle towards your new shiny Platinum Trophy is to simply beat the final boss and watch the credits roll on your screen. Fun factor. My Twitch viewers can attest to the fact that there were a few sections that made me infuriated, either because of a particular boss fight or because of an unusually difficult platforming section. Even so, I had an absolute blast with Prince of Persia and The Lost Crown, which mostly stemmed from its engaging combat system and the addicting reward system for going out of your way with your map exploration. There are areas that will test your skills, but a lot of my time with the title was quite enjoyable. In the end, Prince of Persia and The Lost Crown is an exceptional return of a beloved franchise that has been dormant for way too long. The risks that Ubisoft took with this game certainly paid off, from the emphasis on old-school gameplay mechanics to the introduction of a Metroidvania setting with fast-paced combat opportunities. Sargon's story is far from over, and if Ubisoft takes this game and only improves on its foundation, the sequel has the potential to be a Game of the Year contender. I will give Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown from 2024 a 9.5 out of 10. Well folks, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for checking it out. Have you played Prince of Persia and The Lost Crown? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Till next time, have a great day or evening wherever you are. My name is Ayes, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.